Welcome to episode 4 of the JS804 Podcast. It's Sam.
It's Jordan.
And we have some news this week. Holy cow, the league has been set on fire. But what's crazy, as much as the league has been set on fire, it's going to get even more crazier come March 14th during free agency. So, the thing about this week is there is no thing about this week. There's a crap ton of stuff that happened this week. We're going to dive right into it. It's actually so much stuff that we were like, you know what? Let's not even tackle a topic this week. Let's just talk about all the crazy news that's been going on. But all right, so first things first, let's talk about the Martellus brothers. Oh God, I'm so mad.
We have never really talked about this on here, but we both hate the Bennett brothers for different reasons. Well, I think we both hate the one Bennett brother. Anyway, Martellus Bennett played for the Packers, and it was absolutely just bad. He didn't show up even when he had Aaron Rodgers. He didn't play very well. He did okay blocking, but then right when Aaron Rodgers went, he wanted to have surgery, and you could tell that he just kind of was giving up the season just to have a surgery on his arm and all this stuff like that, and not really playing for the season. And
not only that, but he's had a lot of past woes before. When he was a rookie, it was his first year, or he was a rookie. The Cowboys picked him up, and he didn't get along with Jason freaking Witten. The people I know that are Redskins, Giants, and Eagles fans, they hate the Cowboys. They loathe the Cowboys, but they love Jason Witten. And I haven't heard anybody say anything different outside of that. And if you don't get along with Jason Witten, buddy, that's on you. Anyway, that's old.
Yeah. And then so Michael Bennett is just kind of a dirty player. On top of that, he's got a loud mouth. He's outspoken. He also had that whole thing with the police where he said he was arrested because racism.
Yeah.
And then it came out that was just complete BS.
BS.
So anyway, they're the Bennett brothers everyone hates them. They're a-holes.
Yeah, they are.
But the Legion of Doom is Boom?
It's Boom.
It's Boom. People call it Legion of Doom now because it's all everyone's getting
Legion
traded.
Of Doomed, yeah.
But now Michael Bennett has gone and gotten traded to the Eagles. And so, that will be quite interesting to see how that's going to be.
And I hate that because it's I was, okay, I like Carson Wentz as a person. I even like some of the guys on there. And it hurts to say it because, I hate the Eagles with a passion. And I always tell Jordan, I said, I really feel bad when the when the Redskins start to lose and the Giants do, and I'm like, oh man, that sucks. But when the Eagles lose, I freaking love it. It's so freaking awesome.
And another reason to not like the Eagles.
And another freaking reason to hate the freaking Eagles, man.
I didn't have any serious problem with the Eagles, but now they have Michael Bennett. Maybe there's an actual reason to really dislike them now.
Oh yeah. And then of course, as we stated, Martellus Bennett was cut by the Patriots, and I tell you what, I was telling Jordan, his run with the Patriots before he signed with the Packers, that was all they were going to get out of him. He's not very good. He's a good blocker, but that's really about it.
I will want to say this though, when it comes to Martellus Bennett, it is funny that they're that the Patriots, we'll sign him real quick, and he only plays one game, and then now they're automatically just cutting him. So apparently he wasn't worth it to them. But the one other thing I was going to say about the Bennetts is apparently today the I guess some coaches or I don't know which coaches were saying what, but reportedly they said that he was a pain in the ass and hard to work with. Michael Bennett.
He was, man.
So yeah. Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Well, yeah, that's funny because he was a nominee for that. And then I forgot what he did or what game it was on, but one of the announcers was like, "That's not what a Man of the Year nominee does," and I don't know. Anyway, all right, on to DeMarcus Lawrence. He got franchise tagged, and he's weirdly happy about it. Most of the time, your bigger stars see that as a slap in the face, but I'm like, dude, you're getting guaranteed freaking money. What are you complaining about? But DeMarcus Lawrence, $17 million. They finally signed the check and the papers, and that deal is done. Next, anything you want to expound on that?
One thing I want to talk about that they talked about that's going to happen is Richard Sherman's going to be getting released.
He's getting
from
released.
the Seahawks too. So I know that I was reading the Seahawks also are they're going to want something good for Earl Thomas, but yeah, that's pretty much the end of the Seahawks defense. The Seahawks defense is not in ruin, but it is.
No, it's in ruin. It's in ruin.
Yeah.
I mean, Richard Sherman has 2 ACL tears. They don't need him. Gone. I don't know. Is Cliff Averill still with them? He might be. I don't know. I have to check on that. Michael Bennett's gone. Earl Thomas, he wants to be gone, apparently. And so it's just not, we've already hit on that 1,000 times already. But,
yeah, with them, it's kind of official now that they're breaking up hardcore when it comes to that.
Yeah. And speaking of the NFC East, which we were just on, Alec Ogletree gets traded to the Giants from the Rams for a 7th round pick in 2019. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No, Alex Ogletree and the Rams' 7th pick for 2019 was traded to the Giants for the Giants' 4th pick and a 6th round pick. So Alec Ogletree's all right. He's not.
Now,
bad.
is that a first round, 4th round, like 4th pick in the first round? You're saying?
No, they're it's the 4th and the 6th round.
So okay, 4th and 6th round. I was gonna say, man, that'd have been a really good deal.
Ooh, no, he's not worth that.
No, he's not.
He's not worth that. So, and the thing about one thing I hate about this is I sit by it as a Cowboys fan. I'm forced to kind of like be on the outside looking in because Jerry Jones has all this talent that he's letting him slide past his fingers. And while the Eagles are getting stronger, they got really strong last year. The Giants got really strong, although they got hurt last year with signing talent. The Redskins, just got they made a tad bit of a lateral move with getting Alex Smith.
One thing I wanted to talk about this week that I don't know if you had on your list. Looking at your list. No, you don't have it on your list. But so I've been following the combine this week with all the college guys, and one guy that I was watching that I am so impressed with. Now, who's the guy that only has one finger or that's missing a finger? Pierre
Griff.
No. You're thinking of Shareem Griffin, the guy I'm talking about, but the guy that's on the Giants.
Oh, Jason Pierre-Paul.
Jason Pierre-Paul is missing a finger. Well, Shareem Griffin's missing a whole hand.
Yeah,
and this man is, I think, got the fastest 40-yard dash as a linebacker. Ever.
Here's the thing with this guy, man. A lot of times when you have people in his situation, you have some sort of monkey. I don't want to say monkey in your back, but I don't want to call it a disability either, because I don't think he would want us to call it that.
He wouldn't want to call it a disability, but it's a disability.
Yeah. So you have these things that happen, and then you're hoping that he has 1 or 2 good plays, and then everybody's like, oh, that's so awesome. He has such an inspiring story, but really they don't ever do anything. No, this guy's going to do stuff. This guy's not going to just be the inspiring story. He's going to freaking do stuff.
Yeah, I think he's conquered. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is he's definitely conquered that disability and owned it, because I was watching him catch balls, and he didn't drop a single ball.
Didn't.
And he was catching balls, doing his thing, and he's just fast.
I just want to know what Des Bryant's excuse is. Anyway, go ahead. So
he can't throw up the X, he only has one hand.
Yeah. Oh, man, I can throw up the... I don't know. You can throw up the freaking... I don't know. Anyway, that has been some crazy stuff. The combine is among us, and I haven't been paying that much attention to it.
I've actually been paying more attention than I usually do, because it actually has been pretty interesting to see who's. This year has a lot of quarterbacks and a lot of in the first round that people want to pick, and since the combine, people I don't know if it's going to happen, but Saquon Barkley. I'm horrible at pronouncing NFL names, but Saquon Barkley might be first round pick running back in the draft. Yeah, he might be first round pick. No, I don't know. The Browns might get him.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm gonna make a bold claim right now. I'm gonna make a very bold claim right now, and you can mark it down. What's today? The 8th, March the 8th, 2018. That the Browns are gonna go 7-9 or 6-10 next year.
They have a good team. I mean, they're on the edge of just being a very, 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 very. They're like one good thing went. And the last thing I want to think about Saquon Barkley is, I think he ran a 4.41, and he's 230 pounds.
Yeah.
That is insane, man. That is
insane.
really, really good. So that's why people were impressed. And he also did really good on his reps. So anyway.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting. Okay, the fact that I haven't kept up with the combine this year, it is so amazing to just see the pure talent that these guys have, because when you're in the NFL, your talent, you're trained to use it the way that the team wants you to use it. And so to see these guys speed without pads, to see these vertical jumps, to see these leaps, to see how well these guys' hands are, it's incredible. They are, we forget they are athletic in different ways. And to see like offensive linemen run a 5-second, a 5.12 or whatever, 40-yard dash that are like 280, 300 pounds. It's incredible. It's incredible to me.
Take some strength to book it that fast at that weight.
Anyway, on to the spanking. I'm going to take your wife. I'm gonna take your girl from you, and you're gonna watch me with her. Is Jerry Jones paid $2 million, and that somehow, some way, that ended up getting. I don't want to say resolved, because it probably wasn't resolved, but Jerry Jones coughed up that $2 million to what's his face, Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell.
All right. Anyway, that was going to be expected, and then for the second time I lost my wording there. For the second year in a row, Le'Veon Bell gets franchise tagged.
I think with this is he just said today that since he's franchise tagged, he is going to not make any appearances to the first week.
Again?
So he's not going to do training camp. Yeah. But I mean, the guy, I can't be mad at him. Like he's like the number.
Okay, he said he wants security. All right, he said he wants security. All right, you're making $14.5 million on this franchise tag of guaranteed money. Last year he made 12.1. Dude, that's like $25 million you're getting in 2 years. But that's not security.
I think with what he's coming from and what other running backs are saying for him and why he's able to do this, and they're never gonna. Even if he could do this into week 2 and they're still gonna sign him is that with running backs, they tend to have a shorter shelf life than like a quarterback, because they are constantly running into like they don't have very few running backs like Frank Gore, what the guy's name is.
Frank Gore, yeah.
Frank Gore can do that. I mean, seriously, you have to, and a lot of them, I'm not going to say die early, but you can cause brain trauma when you're as a running back.
I'll tell you what. They may be in the league. A running back can play in the league for 10 plus years. Okay. But here's the thing. They have a shelf life of being good. They have a shelf life of being 1,200 or even 1,000 plus yards year after year. And the thing about having that shelf life is that once you start to slip up, once you go 2 consecutive years under 800 yards, then you usually get the.
I think with boot. Even running backs, they fall off even harder. Like it's even worse than like I'm just saying. Like even I can say I've seen like you'll have 1 year where they'll just completely nosedive. Yep. And then they're basically done after. They'll get cut, and then they just never recover after that.
Yeah, man. It's the same thing. Look at Chris. The list can go on and on and on. Chris Johnson, Adrian Peterson, C.J. Anderson.
Okay. We talked about Jonathan Stewart getting cut last week.
I'm talking about guys who actually have done something for 1 year.
He actually. I looked back at his older years. Jonathan Stewart was actually productive. Actually had some productive years, and it just went downhill fast for him. I think he's in his 30s, so he's not. Yeah. He's like 32.
But that's funny because we did the podcast last week, and then lo and behold, the very next day,
we were trash talking him. We were like talking about how horrible he was, and you know what? He got literally next day, like you said.
He's trash, dude. I'm sorry, but he's trash.
What?
He's had. Well, no, I shouldn't say he's trash. He's had 2009. He had 1,100 yards. He's not trash. He's up and down.
He's mediocre.
I shouldn't say trash.
He's mediocre.
Yeah, mediocre.
I wouldn't call him. Again, he's nothing to write home about. But anyway, yeah. So Le'Veon Bell is gonna he's going to make more statements about that, but he's definitely not happy about franchise tag.
So freaking annoying. I don't get it. Anyway, next, Tavon Austin is released, and he's actually not that good.
No, and he didn't even.
In my opinion.
Yeah, they didn't. I wasn't shocked about this because I forgot how many receptions he got, but it was like a decent amount, and he didn't do anything with it. And they have enough talent on that team anyway. They got Robert Woods, they've got Cooper Kupp. Sammy Watkins. Yeah, I think them being down Tavon Austin.
He had 47 yards, 0 touchdowns. You know, his biggest year that he's had in his career with the Rams is actually in his NFL career period is 509 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2016. Yeah, I'll pass. Or he had 5 touchdowns in 2015, but not that many yards, 473.
Oh yeah, and Todd Gurley's like a half a wide receiver anyway.
That's true. Yeah, there's the running back position has definitely evolved, and actually, let me back up, is evolving, and there's no room for him, and so anyway, next. Here's what I'm excited about: the cap space. I forgot what it was last year, but I know there's more. Is at $177 million this year for each team. That's awesome because the reason why, with the exception of the Patriots, listen, I'm not trying to talk. We don't talk politics here, but I'm a big competitive guy. I'm a big free market competition. Let's go. Let's find out what we can do. But I've got to say this. I think it was 92 or 93. It was in the early 90s, I believe, when they've implemented the salary cap or the cap space, because that's why you had dynasties all the time, is because you had San Francisco in the 80s who could afford all the best players, and the same thing in the 70s with the Steelers, and same thing with the kind of in the 90s with the Cowboys. I think they got on that train before the salary cap really hit. So it does level the playing field out. And it does help teams like Jacksonville become I think 11-5 team that they went this year.
I think the cap obviously being salary cap is definitely one of the best things for sports, because that's the same reason why the Yankees in baseball would literally have dynasties, and I think the same with the Cowboys before they put them. The Cowboys in the 90s, that was before they implemented the salary cap.
Yeah. I'm sorry, the Jaguars were 10-6.
So that's something that I'm glad that they. But if they can raise the ceiling, I'm always a little bit.
For sure. Because when you raise the ceiling, you're raising the ceiling for everybody.
Yeah. So
and what sucks though is, like, if you're signing people though, if you're signing a quarterback, let's just say 5 years, $100 million. And then 70 of that is guaranteed, and then 1 year and they get hurt. Well, that's a lot of money that they have to eat in their cap space.
I want to talk about this because I know it's not on your list, but I know we've been hitting on it the last couple of weeks and da-da-da-da-da-da. So this year, obviously, there's a lot of still talks of where Kirk Cousins is going to go, and it's basically, from what people are saying, he was offered money at
ridiculous,
like 91 million guaranteed,
freaking ridiculous,
over 3 years.
Over 3 years. Oh my God.
Yeah, but we'll see if that's official or not, because he apparently posted on Twitter saying like, "Hey, where should I go?" Like, hashtag free agency or something like that.
Right.
And
so with like 3 years, 91 million guaranteed is the freaking most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Is because when you do that, you're not saying, you know what, you have the opportunity to make your money. Because here's the thing, whether he goes 1-15, whether he gets hurt his first year or whatever, he does really crappy, he's getting that money either way.
Yeah.
And they're gonna eat that. The Vikings are gonna eat that hard if they do pay him that money.
And the reason I wanted to tie this in is, and this is what I was talking about originally with Jimmy Garoppolo and Aaron Rodgers, that apparently they wanted to extend Aaron Rodgers' contract, and Aaron Rodgers wants to hold out to wait to see how much...
Aaron Rodgers
does. Wow. To see how much...
he wants to see where his value at.
Yeah, because if he gets almost $100 million guaranteed, Aaron Rodgers is going to... Oh my gosh, is going... he's going to eat so much. He's going to get like 110 guaranteed, something ridiculous. Which just kind of, in my opinion, kind of sucks. Because when you're eating so much cap space, I mean, how are you going to sign good players?
Yeah, that's one thing, or that's one reason why the Patriots have been able to sustain their success for so long is because Tom Brady isn't greedy. He knows I need weapons around me. Yes, I want to get paid, but I understand that if I get paid all this money, I'm eating up cap space for other wide receivers or tight ends that we could be using and bringing in. And so that's why he's been able to. Well, first of all, he's a great quarterback, but that's why he's been able to sustain the success that he has is because they've been able to spread that money around.
I'm saying this, and I'm going to say it right now. I would be a surprise because it'd be a lot of money, but at the same time, I would not be shocked if let's say he leaves Green Bay in some horrible situation. He could easily. Some team would offer him $120 million guaranteed. I know it sounds insane, but he could easily get that kind of money.
At 40 years old.
If he's not 40 years old.
Are you talking about Tom Brady?
No, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers could get that kind of money in these places like the Browns or all these other places that have huge cap, space that they can work with because they don't have anybody that they've signed that's high money. I don't know. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he still wants to be reasonable and stay with he still wants to get another ring and stuff like that. But I'm just really hoping that Kirk Cousins is not going to get $90 million because that's going to set a precedent for other quarterbacks.
Well, here's not only that.
Especially the guaranteed money. The guaranteed money is another big deal.
Not only that, but it's in his division. They're going to, when it's in your own division, he's saying, listen, I'm playing these guys two times a year. And these are, and it's going to come down, let's be 100% honest, between us and the Vikings every year. So if he's getting paid $90 million, if our arch rival's getting paid $90 million, cough up the money. So that's.
But I still think the whole Kirk Cousins thing is so inflated. Yeah, you still have to believe the guy's good. I think he's great. And he will do, if he is in the Vikings, plays for the Vikings, he'll do great there. I will. But the thing with the Vikings is, I still think Kirk Cousins, and I listen to a lot of what Skip Bayless says about Kirk Cousins, and it is very true. He, in the long run, I think he could deliver you to a Super Bowl, but he would have to have all the right pieces around you, all the right pieces around him, and if he had a good defense like they do with the Vikings, he might be able to do it.
Right.
But I think I'm just hoping that anyway. Long story short, I'm just saying that I hope that with Aaron Rodgers comes not an insane people that just doesn't inflate all these really good quarterbacks. How much their contracts go.
Sure. But on to one of the last pieces. The Titans released DeMarco Murray, which isn't surprising. He's a little bit older. He's still productive. I think that you're going to get another maybe 3. You're going to get one more year out of him, wherever he goes. You might get 3 years out of him. You'll probably get 2 years out of him.
He might go to the Seahawks. They don't have a running back.
That would be a good fit.
Or they might go to Carolina. They don't have a running back over there.
I think you give Christian McCaffrey another year, and we'll see where he lands. Todd Gurley didn't really even start to. This was his best year. But I mean, if you look at Todd Gurley's numbers, running backs, it's not like the quarterback where it takes more time for them to develop. Now 2015, he had maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking Melvin Gordon because he actually has some pretty good numbers. But yeah, DeMarco Murray released. He'll find a home soon. And again, Derrick Henry's pretty good. So that's not too. That shouldn't be too impactful. But that was a good dual system that they had going on there. Although DeMarco Murray probably got one more carry for every carry that Derrick Henry got. And then next week we have I'm so excited about this. We have a very, very special guest coming on. I can't say too much, but it'll be our first guest. We'll be breaking some ground. But let me just say, this dude knows his football, and he's been in everybody's living room across the United States, and you may not even know it.
But I will say this: the one thing I like about him, and I can't wait for to meet him, is because he's a Packers fan. So
yeah.
So I think I might wear my jersey just for the heck of it.
Yeah. Well, he'll be calling in. He'll be calling in the show next week. But that's this might have been. I mean, unless you have anything else to hit on, this was kind of a shorter episode.
Yeah, we're probably going to make the next one definitely going to be longer because he's going to be with us. And there's just so much little tiny news here and there that we can cover. But this is the majority of stuff I think that's big. Anything huge. The one last thing I saw. Oops, I'm hitting microphones and everything. The one last thing I saw was Marquise Goodwin.
Signed a 3-year deal.
3-year deal.
That's good. That's good. They need Jimmy Garoppolo. Needs somebody to have chemistry with. If you cut those guys, and then he gets new receivers or maybe even some second string receivers, that will that usually throws off the chemistry because watch, if you ever see a backup quarterback come in and play, you always watch the second tier receiver. You always watch the second and third tier receivers. That's who they're thrown to the most. Is because when they practice with them, that's the guy. When they're practicing, those are the guys that they're throwing the football to. And the first string guys, are obviously have more chemistry with your starting quarterback. So anyway, that'll be good for Jimmy Garoppolo. But that's all we have for you this week. Again, this was a little bit of a shorter episode.
Yeah.
We hope to see you again, or have you listen to us this week. And listen, guys, tune in next week. I'm gonna have the podcast out, next week's podcast out, hopefully by not this Thursday, because today is Thursday that we're recording it on, but Thursday the 15th. But anyway, well, guys, it was fun and it was real.
And it was real fun.
Right. Well, anyway, guys, y'all know it. Y'all know who it is. It's Sam.
This is Jordan.
And we are JS804. We'll catch you later.
See you guys next week.